Destiny, Taking King, The Last Word, in-depth review. Anyway, The Last Word is an exotic hand cannon, which has quite pretty good perks. Anyway, its exotic perk, The Last Word perk, makes you have more stability in target acquisition when firing from the hip. Then also on par, its intrinsic perk. Why is it so unique and cool? The Fanfire intrinsic perk. The weapon can be fired quickly and continuously, aka full auto on a hand cannon. But the only thing is that, when you look at this weapon on paper, which is what I'm about to do, it doesn't look that great. I'll show you the stats. The rate of fire is 32, the impact is 68, the range is 8, the stability is 22, the reload speed is 56, the magazine is 8, the aim assist is 30, and I guess that can go up when you use hip fire, and the equip speed is 20, just because, the whole animation, and recoil direction is 100, but the thing is, that's not in the regular degrees like on a protractor. And then you have its zoom, which is like every other weapon that does not have, which is not like a sniper or a scout rifle, is 15. Anyway, this hand cannon is pretty unique. I mean, so unique. When it comes to mastering it, it's a hand cannon, yeah, sure. But you don't use it like a hand cannon. Hand cannons are usually used at medium range to long range. Barely any get to close range. I mean barely any, because this is probably the only hand cannon that gets to go in that range. Because of its rate of fire, it can quickly and continuously kill shotgun rushers if you're good enough. One habit you might need to break when it comes to using hand cannons: aim down sight. Sometimes you need to do it because they're in that nitty-gritty medium range. But when you're in that close quarter situation, fanfire is the only way you need to go, because you get more target acquisition, you get more range, you get better stability, which is weird, because usually when you aim down sight you get better stability, but this is kind of reversed. The magazine size is 8, so that may be a problem for The Last Word, because of the fact, it dispenses that magazine pretty fast. So if you miss like quite a few shots in like 1v2 gunfight, you're toast. And plus, 1v2 gunfights are just not for The Last Word. Last Word is like kind of like skirmish, maybe salvage, maybe, because Clash is also a good choice. Any other game mode with a close quarter map, nothing like Rift and Trials of Osiris. Why? Because most of the people in these game modes or maps, whatever, they have a tendency to spread out in skirmish, and like the game mode skirmish, and everybody goes everywhere, so you can pick one gunfight one at a time. Enough of that. This weapon, I'd say, is the best for taking down shotgun rushers. But you might overcompensate for yourself and overpower yourself and think you can just rush into the spawn like I just did back there. And anyway, back then in year 1, people used to run around with aggressive ballistics, but now with all the nerfs and buffs, they're gonna have to go to soft ballistics. In the other perk column, you can either use single point sling, which is what I like to use, like I like to strafe, and perfect balance. Perfect balance is obvious to most people to choose it, but I noticed something. When I use perfect balance, I cannot overcompensate for the recoil and aim at people's feet, which is not a very good thing. So I leave the recoil alone and go on single point sling. The other perk on the column, on the same column, is high caliber rounds, but I don't think those are going to be any use because, well, those are usually for staggering opponents, aka anti-sniping, and that is more for scout rifles, not for hand cannons. And also that this hand cannon's recoil and range won't really do much. But overall, it's a close quarter and medium beast when it comes to trials and other 3v3 or clash-like game modes. It's pretty good for the how do you call it? The clash version of Inferno, or the clash version of the Iron Banner. Now, one thing I'll tell you is you need to get used to getting up there with the knife, because I notice most people, when they engage in gunfights nowadays, instead of rushing into them and getting them with the knife, they back away. With this weapon, you don't have enough rounds to do some of those things, like you just saw. So you might need to get up and close and personal and knife them. And yeah. In terms of PvE, this thing is never gonna be good in PvE. Maybe you can monkey around and patrol, but for serious stuff like nightfalls, raids, I don't see it popping up anywhere. But, anyways, I wonder what's your opinion on this weapon. You can hit that comment section to see if you like this weapon or totally disagree and do not like it. I'd say if you do not like it, just stick around with it, because I think you might be hanging around Hawk Moon a little bit too much. But anyway, smack that like button, hit the sub, drop the comment, and I'll see you guys later in another video on my channel. And make sure to watch all the other videos.